Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to sixth grade math Introduction to Statistics lesson. Pause while you write the lesson title in your math notebook. Pause again while you write today's lesson objective in your math notebook. Today's objective is, I can plot the responses to statistical questions by completing practice problems with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Here is one of today's standards. Create a statistical question given a context and develop a data set with a given measure of center, spread, and overall shape, and determine how additional data points impact these measures. The second standard we're addressing today is interpret numerical data by creating a histogram, box plot, and/or dot plot. Let's jump in with a key vocabulary review. Statistics is the science of collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data. A statistical question is one for which you do not expect to get a single answer. Instead, you expect a variety of answers, and you are interested in the distribution and tendency of those answers. Recall that a dot plot uses a number line to show the number of times each value in a data set occurs. Dot plots show the spread and the distribution of a data set. Let's take a look at example 1A. We are answering a statistical question. So I know there's a lot on this slide, but we're just going to take this one part of this example at a time. So it says you conduct a science experiment on house mice. Your teacher asks you, what is the weight of a mouse? So letter A is just asking us, is this a statistical question, and to explain it. So in your notebook, where it asks, what is it asking, we are going to write that it's asking us, is it a statistical question, and to explain. And then we don't really have steps, but we have an explanation. So because we know that the weights of mice are going to vary, they're not all the same, all little mices don't weigh the same, then it is a statistical question. So we know that all of our mice are not going to weigh the same thing, so that means that it is a statistical question. So now we're going to take a look at example 1B. It says you weigh some mice and record the weights in grams in the table. Display the data in a dot plot. Identify any clusters, peaks, or gaps in the data. So the question that we are being asked is, we are being asked to display the data in a dot plot, and we are also being asked to identify the clusters, peaks, and gaps in the data. So here's our table with our weight in grams of all the mice that we weighed. And when you are asked to do a dot plot, just think back to previous grades where you've been asked to do line plots, and a line plot looks, if you look at the top of your screen like this, you have a number line and you put X's. So every time you had, let's say this is a number 4, every time you had number 4, you would put an X above it. Every time you had number 3, you would put an X above it, and so on. A dot plot is exactly the same thing, only we use dots instead of X's. So it's the very same thing. So we draw a number line that includes the least value, which is 18, and the greatest value, which is 28. And then we place, so that's step 1. And then we place a dot above the number line for each value. So that's step 2. Now notice it's a number line, so we do not skip values. So just because there are no numbers, there's no mice that weigh 24 grams and 25 grams and 26 grams, we can't skip those numbers. Otherwise, we're not going to see everything we need to see. So you need to be sure you put all the numbers on your number line. So just because you don't have any data for those numbers doesn't mean you get to leave them off the number line. They still exist. So step 2 is you're making a dot above the number line for each data value. And then you're going to identify your clusters, your peaks, and your gaps. And I'm going to show you how that works. Most of the data are clustered around the number 20. So you can kind of see there's a group. So that's what this red circle is around the number 20. You can see that they're all sort of bunched around there like a bunch of grapes. There is a peak at 20, so it's like a mountain. You can see that it's kind of like a mountain, and it peaks at 20. And there is a gap between 23 and 27. So there are no numbers between there. So that's where your gap is. So that's why it's so important that you put all the numbers on your number line. So be sure this all makes it into your notebook. So now we can finish up example 1 with letter C. It says use the distribution of the data to answer the question. So if we look back up at the top, it says what is the weight of a mouse? So we look at our dot plot there, and most of the weights of the mice are right around 20 grams. So we can say that most mice weigh about 20 grams. So the question is asking us what's the weight of a mouse? And we are interpreting our graph, and the answer is about 20 grams. Now let's take a look at example 2A. We are using another dot plot. This one's a vertical dot plot, so don't let that throw you off. It says you record the high temperature every day while at summer camp in August. Then you create the vertical dot plot. So it says for letter A, which is what we're concentrating on right now, how many weeks were you at summer camp? So that's what the question is asking us. And then it says because there are 28 data values on the dot plot, you were at camp for 28 days. So your first step is to count those dots. Step 1 is you would have had to count all those dots, but it's your lucky day. The book did it for you. And step 2 is you divide the 28 days by 7 days in a week, and 28 divided by 7 is 4 weeks. So you were at summer camp for 4 weeks. And then looking at example 2B, our question is how can you collect these data and what are your units? So this is just sort of interpreting this dot plot. It says you can collect these data with a thermometer, which we all know that that's how you take temperature. Other ways to collect it now would be maybe you would look at your cell phone and see what the reported high temperature is, things like that. But the units are degrees Fahrenheit, and we know that because we know that if it were 84 degrees Celsius, it would be dangerously hot. So we know that it's degrees Fahrenheit. So be sure that makes it onto your next slide. And then letter C, we're writing a statistical question that we can answer using the dot plot. So remember, the statistical question has to be a question that does not have one correct answer. Then we have to answer the question. So one possible statistical question is, what is the daily high temperature in August? So it says we were at summer camp in August. So we know from just hanging out that there is not going to be one correct answer for that. There's not one daily high temperature in August. Even if you're at the same place in August every single year, the high temperature is going to be different from year to year and from day to day. So here's one possible statistical question. And then the high temperatures are spread out with about half of the temperatures around 81 degrees Fahrenheit and half around 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can see there's a little peak here and there's a little peak here on your graph. And so you might say, well, the high temperatures are somewhere between 81 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit, or you could just let this be your answer. Now remember that to finish up this flipped lesson, you need to be sure your notes are all complete in your ISN. You need to complete your Google form questions, and you need to review the lesson if you need to. You also need to complete your Big Ideas math assignment in your Math Spiral notebook and submit that when it is 100% correct, not before. Be sure you track your progress on your playlist.